guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, of course, Lovealadijonnaise. I'm Feli and I'm welcoming all of you guys. Thank you for being here once again. Here by my side, I have my beautiful girlfriend, Sam. How are you?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on another weekend. I'm very good. How are you, my love?
I'm fine, thank you. Very happy that we are doing this once again and that we are more or less somewhere in the middle of the second season.
More or less.
Yes. Today we came with a very interesting topic that has to be and is completely related to relationships, not only long distance, but can be all of them. And also now that we were talking about more or less what we were going to say on this topic, I realized that it also has to be with the mentality and the way of thinking of generations.
Yes, definitely. It's a very interesting topic.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about the importance of doing the laundry and washing dishes together.
Very innovative title. Or, with other words, if you're confused, why are we talking about house chores? Basically, what we want to transmit with this title and this episode is why, and that is very important to have responsibilities in the relationship.
Yes, all this, it's related to the fact that along the time, we have seen how, depending on the generation, has been the responsibilities that you see in a couple. We can see in our grandparents, for example, generation, how the whole time used to be the girl is in the kitchen.
In the house.
And
the man is outside, basically going to his job and providing for a family.
Then we started seeing with our parents that it started changing because women started working, women started bringing money also to the family, but still it was more or less the same way of thinking because if you realize about this, also has to be, and we can see with our parents how usually the woman is the one that is doing laundry, is the one that is washing dishes, is the one that is cleaning the house.
But still, I would say now here where it comes very interesting, depends on where in the world you're located. And how is your way of thinking and your culture.
I know, because you're coming from Europe, and in Europe everything is more equal. Here in Latin America it's still not like that. There's a couple of countries that is more like that. We could talk about more, for example, Chile and Uruguay, that I think they're the two most developed countries of whole Latin America, or at least equal. Mm-hmm. They have more equality among genders. But yes, we wanted to talk about this because it's a very important topic for couples that they have been already for a bit of time together. You know, not like new couples. We're talking about couples that they have been at least for more than 6 months together.
Yes. So let's jump into the topic.
Okay, let's jump into the topic. We're going to begin with the important part that is very important to always split responsibilities among couples. And here is very interesting to see that this is the moment when you're a couple, when you're not married, that you should start putting attention about how your couple is so compromised or how your couple offers help whenever it comes to house stuff, washing, cleaning, and things. Why? Because you're going to realize how your couple will be when you get married.
Yes, and then with that, you can like say, oh, I want to. It's very weird. Either you say, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person or not, but also like you love the person, and if he or she is not committed to help you in anything, well, I mean, if you love them so much, obviously you're not gonna break up with them, but there is a healthy way to communicate this whole situation with your couple.
No, I know. I mean, I don't think that actually that decision should be based on, oh, my husband, my wife knows how to cook or not.
Exactly.
Of course not. But what we want to say is that also in this moment is when you're going to start realizing how useful your couple is. Because, I mean, we always are compromised to clean the house because it's the environment where we live. So if you see that your couple is not really committed on cleaning and helping, you're gonna more or less start knowing that maybe your couple is not a really organized person, doesn't really like to live in a place that has order, that is clean. And of course, Sounds stupid, but all this house stuff can bring a lot of arguments in the future.
Yes, because for some people it's very very important to have a clean environment where they live, and obviously if they don't have, starts like attacking their mental health. I mean, and they just feel anxious and all these, and then when they have also their couple not helping them and they don't care if it's messy or not messy, it's even worse.
Yeah.
That's why, as you said, it's very important to have a clean space because basically you live in this environment.
No, and I mean, we're talking about like house stuff that, as I was saying before, it sounds stupid, but no. Like if you go to Google, and we kindly invite you, and actually I was doing a bit of research, there is a high percent of divorces and divorce processes because of the simple and stupid situation that the couple gets mad at each other because of the way they squish the toothpaste.
Really?
Literally. And
I
couples,
didn't know that.
they get divorced because of that.
Oh my God.
Because someone squishes the toothpaste from the middle and the other one from the end of the toothpaste, and they start arguing because of that. Or literally the simple way of how they leave the toothbrush in the bathroom or how they leave the toilet. A lot of couples get divorced because when men goes to pee, they don't put the thing of the toilet down for a girl.
I mean, that for toilet, it's kind of logical, and I would say, okay, fine, but for toothbrush, I didn't know.
A lot of couples get divorced because of that, because usually men, we are the ones that we for some reason, we just squish from the middle. And girls, they just squish from the end, and a lot of girls, they just can't live with that.
Actually, I squish my toothpaste from the middle.
We both squish from the middle, actually.
But once it starts, like, I mean, once the toothpaste is about to finish, then I start squeezing it from the bottom, obviously. Yeah. But, yeah.
I don't know. There are some people but that's why we're talking about it. Because literally, with these simple and tiny things that you will say they're not important, you can avoid having a lot of arguments.
Yes.
And of course, you wouldn't like to live with someone that has the whole thing opposite than you. There are a couple of things that we can accept that people are different because any of us are the same.
Yeah, we're not the same. But some things are just like, you can accept.
No, I mean,
it's better to communicate.
You can't accept, and also some people, they tend to say, especially when they're in the in-love phase of the relationship, that it's still not really love. It's just like they're madly in love. The honeymoon phase, exactly. A lot of people say that, oh no, but they're gonna change when we get married. They don't.
What? They don't. No. You have to start from the beginning, not once you're married and then problems come and come and come. No.
Yeah. So it's very important this phase, because here's where you're going to start realizing, and this is why we're bringing the house stuff, the housework to the topic, because they're simple tasks, okay? Very simple tasks that we were taught since we were children. But here's where you start realizing how much can you afford living with the person. Because of course the person can get better. If you tell a person in a lovely way, the person can get better, can try to do stuff better, being more organized. But at the end of the day, it won't be perfect to you, because that person can just start acting as you wish.
And here is an example of us. Felipe, used to be messy, clean, but messy, not dirty and messy, because that's a huge difference. And me, I love to have my stuff organized. I rarely leave them like around my room. Sometimes I do, because obviously none of us is perfect. And in the beginning of our relationship, I told him if he could please pick up his stuff, because I just don't feel comfortable things laying around the room, because it gives me anxiety.
It started with sneakers.
With sneakers.
Yeah, sneakers.
We started with sneakers. So he started with baby steps and started putting his sneakers after workout or after he came home in his closet where they always are. Because in America they have built-in closet, if you didn't know. Anyway, it's not like in Europe.
We have literally a room that is a closet.
And then he started with his clothes, but obviously he's not perfect and as I wish he would be. But I also learned to accept that and not always tell him, you didn't pick up this, you left this there, and I started accepting, and he picks his clothes. But if he doesn't pick something and put it where it belongs, I don't care, because I accepted it and it doesn't give me anxiety.
Yeah, I think as long as I don't exaggerate on what I'm doing, because it's very different leaving one day my shoes somewhere because I arrived very fast and I was in a rush,
that's
than
obviously
dropping my clothes in the middle of the hallway. I think that will be an extreme, and in that case it will be necessary that Sam tells me, like, baby, what are you doing?
It's like, okay, you left them in the middle of the house. No, but see, that's what we are trying to say. We both did something from our part, contributed to this situation that our relationship is healthier.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people and a lot of I think older couples, especially from our generation but a bit older, they also suggest to live a bit together before getting married, because you can realize actually how it is to live with a person.
I agree with that. I always thought it's very good it's helpful to live with your couple before you get married, so you can see. And we don't live together, but what we do is we spend couple of months together because we are visiting each other, and it's more or less the same.
Basically living together, especially when I go to Europe, because here in the house my parents are here. Also, a lot of things my mom does it,
and you have the lady that cleans.
Yeah, the lady that helps us and everything. But when I go to Europe, we are in your apartment, only you and me, and that's it. Only you and me
alone, and then we have to split our chores.
Yeah, I like how always. Thanks God we have a dishwasher there in Europe, not like here. But always at the beginning, it was very hard for me because first of all, I hate washing dishes.
Me
Secondly,
too, actually.
She hates washing dishes. No one wants to do that. Thanks God we have a dishwasher. And we learn actually how to split responsibilities. Whenever we are having breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever, we split, and it's like, okay, who put the dishes away in the morning? Oh, it was me. Okay, then the other person puts the dishes away while the other person brushes teeth, and then the other person cleans the kitchen. So we always have everything split. Also, when it's like the cleaning day.
Yeah, the cleaning day.
I always go around with a vacuum. Sam is always mopping the floor, and I'm also taking the dust away from devices and stuff.
And me, I clean the bathroom. And about the trash, depends. Like sometimes it's you, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's both of us because we have recycling in Europe.
Yeah.
And we try to take it out whenever we go out of the house.
I think like with the trash, it depends who's going out of the house, because this last time sometimes it was me because I was going out for my run, my afternoon run while you had class. Also, sometimes in the morning you needed to go out for something and you used to take the trash out. So I think it depends. With the trash, it depends who's going out.
But what we're trying to say here from the beginning, we split our chores, and the way we did it, now we're gonna focus obviously when we are in Europe, because as you said, here your mom does something, we both do something, the lady that cleans does something, so it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
So when he came first time he was obviously before in Europe, but to Slovenia, to my house. And I remember it was cleaning day, and I asked him what would he like to do. And I gave him the options, either wash the bathroom, clean the bathroom, vacuum, dust. And then he said he loves my vacuum cleaner because it's a technology for him. It's so cute. He was like, can I vacuum? I was like, yes. And I said, I'm gonna mop, and then I was like, what would you prefer, clean the bathroom or the dust? And he was the dust. Okay, and it stayed like that. We always do it like that.
Yeah, we always do it, but I actually get excited about the vacuum because I just love that.
That thing is amazing. But I gave him like the choice what would he prefer, and not give him something he doesn't like, and then he would be like, why do I have to do it if I would prefer something else?
Yeah, but it's very important, guys. Like, if we can suggest you something I think like for long distance couples, that will be actually something that we recommend them, like whenever they travel to see each other, to actually give themselves the time to kind of recreate the situation that if they were living together, because that's how they're going to start realizing how it is to be living with the other person, especially in these type of relationships that it's not only how different we are, but also culture. Culture comes in between. Because, I mean, even if a normal couple from the same country can be very different from each other, at the end of the day, they're gonna share more or less the same culture. But this is not the case with a long distance.
No, definitely not. And I think what would be helpful, you should sit down and discuss your cultural differences. How is it done in your home? How is it done in your couple's home? And just try to find like this middle that you both are going to be happy with it.
Yeah, and this is a great example, the one that Sam and we were giving. Start with the house tasks, because with the house tasks, the most simple things, you're going to see how useful your couple actually is, and if your couple knows how to do stuff by himself.
And it sounds stupid, but it's true. And also, for example, if you're not there in the house at the moment and your couple starts doing something like, let's say, cleaning the dust from devices and furniture, and you come home and you see he or she did it, and you're like, wow, my boyfriend, girlfriend is amazing, very useful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciated that you did it.
Yeah, I always try to be better than you actually think. That's what I will say, because there's always something you can learn. Don't be closed to opportunities of learning how to do stuff. I mean, maybe you're a person that never has done laundry in your life. Well, give yourself the opportunity to start learning, because it's gonna avoid you having arguments with your couple in the future.
Yeah, and when you're married and actually live together, and we don't say to start big and clean up the whole house from top to bottom. No, start with baby steps, obviously.
For example, like me, like I used to leave my shoes everywhere. I started with that. Instead of leaving my shoes everywhere, I started leaving my shoes in my room first. But everywhere. And then I learned and I started leaving my shoes in my closet everywhere. And then I started learning leaving my shoes in the closet, but on the right specific place.
It took us very long time, but also it took me a very long time to, start accepting and not like freaking out and getting anxiety about everything.
Yeah.
So I'm way better than I used to be. But I feel like with us also it helped that we lived in Dijon alone.
Yeah, and
for
we
a couple of months, and we learned even more than we knew before we left home.
No, also that's very true. Like if you had the opportunity of living alone before, like in our case that we lived alone, I think in that moment you're gonna know that the person already knows a bit of organization and being clean, because it's horrible if you're living alone and you're living in the place that is horrible because it's not even comfortable. So,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you already had the opportunity of living alone, then you know what are we talking about.
So we suggest you, if you have the opportunity to live for some time alone, and then try to live, with your couple, because that's what our generations mostly do before getting married, just to get to know the person.
No, I know. But basically, that's what we wanted to share with you guys. It was just a tiny way of explaining what we wanted to share. We hope that you understood actually the point. I mean, yes, the topic of the podcast is doing laundry and washing dishes together, but really what we wanted to tell you is to actually try to do stuff with your couple and put attention of how your couple behaves, because it's gonna seriously give you light in the path of if you really want to be with that person, if you can accept the differences or not.
And if you do something nice, like let's say to clean or to put dishes in dishwasher, without your couple asking you, you're gonna make their day way better if they're super busy or have a lot to do.
Yeah, and also be patient.
Yes.
Also be patient.
I had to learn to be very, very patient. So it takes time for both sides, both couples.
From both sides. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share all these thoughts with you. We hope that you had enjoyed.
Yes, and as usual, you can find us on wherever it says lovealadijonnaise, basically.
Everywhere.
Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, YouTube, and our Gmail.
Our Gmail. Guys, please don't forget to share the podcast with your friends, family, ex couples, whatever. Please,
whoever.
Yeah, this is a way that we can actually reach more people, because if not, we can't.
Yeah, so share.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for all your time that you have provided us, and we hope to have you here next weekend with a new topic.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.